Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all our viewers. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Facebook Live session. Kamusta ang lahat? Rainy afternoon here in the Philippines. I hope everyone is safe and keeping dry. Good afternoon po sa lahat. As we promised, magkakaroon po ng continuation ang ating Facebook Live last week and we will have another insightful discussion today. It is very exciting po and we have a great lineup of guests today na mag-i-impart po ng kanilang insights, ng kanilang knowledge, and contribute to our very interesting discussion today. Hello to our viewers. Let me have a look. How many? So, meron na po tayong 12 viewers at 13 viewers and counting. So sa ating po mga viewers, I have a request. Could you please like and share our Facebook Live today. So paki-share nyo po sa inyong mga wall, paki-share nyo po sa inyong mga messenger groups, sa inyong po mga friends and family, especially those people who are interested to venture and transition to virtual assistance. So malaking bagay po ito para po maunawaan nila ang topic po, trending and controversial topic, hindi lang po dito sa Philippines, I think it's all over the world, ang emerging or emergence ng AI, di ba? Hindi lang naman po ito actually for virtual assistants, but actually for other people as well. I believe not only remote or online workers are using AI, but also traditional office-based organization and companies. Just to give you a background, everyone, whilst we're waiting para po sa iba pa nating mga audience or viewers, last week, I was able to attend a webinar about AI, how you can use AI for your for HR departments. So it was attended by around 600 people all over the world. So meron po mga taga-Indonesia, taga-Japan, taga-India. So by the way, ang host po nun ay from India. And then may mga diniscuss na iba't ibang mga AIs na pwedeng makatulong sa HR. And then meron kasing Slack. We have a Slack channel for all those who attended the webinar. And then we can introduce ourselves. So while reading on the introduction of all the attendees, nakita ko, I've seen that they come from different countries and different industries, not only for virtual assistants. So that made me think and realize that it's not only virtual assistants or online remote workers are using or utilizing AIs. So marami na po pala ngayon, kahit sa iba-ibang mga industry here in the Philippines, kahit anong klaseng whatever line of business is that, they are already using AIs. Pero more so, napaisip ako na how much more, virtual assistants or online workers, they should be aware how to utilize, what are the advantage and of course the disadvantages as well of AI. In everything that we do, in everything that we use, there are always pros and cons. So actually, those are the topics, that's one of the topic that we're going to discuss today together with our speakers. What are the pros and cons of using AIs in the industry, particularly in virtual assistants? Okay, so yes guys, I see here a lot of comments. Before I introduce to you our esteemed speakers for today, can I ask everyone to type in the comment, I am not an AI, hashtag I am not an AI, and then your location. Okay, like for me, example, I'm gonna type here on the chat box, on the comment section, hashtag I am not an AI, and then San Mateo, Rizal. Okay, by doing that, at least we will know our reach, okay? Kung saan po ang ating mga audience for today. So yes, all right. And then Arnel said, good afternoon, human beings. All right. So just to be clear, human beings, but yeah, not AIs. All right. So meron po tayo ditong, okay, by the way, we received some stars again from Sherdan. So shout out to Sherdan. He has sent some stars. So guys, while watching, and if you feel like, this, you're happy with the discussion was really interesting and beneficial for you. If you're kind enough, you can send us stars, okay, during our Facebook Live, and we would greatly appreciate that. And of course, by sending stars, we can pin your comment and we can give you a shout out, all right, later on before we end. Okay, so yes, oh, Shane has sent stars here. Thank you for the stars, Shane. Lawrence is watching from San Pedro, Laguna. Malu from San Mateo. Heidi from Calamba City, Laguna. Mariel from Cainta, Rizal. Richard is watching. I am not a machine. I am a real human being. All right. So hello, Richard. And then Tanya. I am not an AI from Antipolo, Rizal. Okay, so later on, I will recognize our commenters, our viewers for today, our human beings in the view on the audience. So um let me start now. Okay, so again, everyone, welcome to today's Facebook Live session. Our title for our topic for today, The Human Edge, Unlocking the Unique Value of Virtual Assistants to an AI World. All right, as technology continues to advance, artificial intelligence has become an increasingly prominent force in our daily lives. However, the human touch remains invaluable, and online freelancers or virtual assistants are at the forefront of showcasing the unique skills and qualities that only we as humans can bring to the table. In this session, we will explore the critical role that online freelancers play on today's digital landscape and how their creativity, adaptability, and emotional intelligence set them apart from AI driven solutions. We'll discuss the various ways in which freelancers can leverage their human edge to thrive in an AI dominated world, and how businesses can benefit from their unique perspectives and talents. Join us as we dive into this fascinating topic and discover how online freelancers or virtual assistants are shaping the future of work in an AI driven world. So, guys, stay tuned for valuable insights, real life examples, and our experts' advice on how to harness the power of human ingenuity in an increasingly automated world. Okay, so this time, I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker. So let us start with the CEO and founder of Awaken to Business and Vavavoom, Richard Evans. Hello, Richard. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to the Philippines.
Good morning, or I should say Magadang Gabi is that right? Have I got it right? Magadang
Um,
Gabi, right time of day?
in an hour, it's magandang gabi. It's still magandang
Magadang
hapon.
Hapon.
Yes,
Okay, Magadang
okay.
Hapon, everybody, and Andrea, and thank you very much for inviting me along to contribute today.
Yes, yes, it's our pleasure and we are really delighted to have you today, Richard. Just a comment on your magandang hapon and magandang gabi. Why is it, it's really nice to hear, foreigners like Richard, guys. I hope you will agree with me on this. Can I have a thumbs up here on the comment section? It's really pleasant to the ears, when foreigners speak our language. So it's like, it's really sweet to the ears. Do you guys agree? Okay? Masarap pakinggan sa tenga, no, guys? It's really slang when you say magandang gabi. So, thank you very much, Richard, and we really appreciate you learning our language slowly. So,
Very
yes.
slowly. I need to speed up a bit. Maybe I might use some AI technology to increase the efficiency of my learning of the language.
Good idea, Richard.
Yeah.
Good idea. Okay, so thank you very much, Richard. We'll have you again in. I'll go back to you again in a while. So this time, let me introduce to you our marketing director or the marketing director of your virtual marketing team, Ben Reynolds. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Andrea. Magadan Gabi.
Hapon,
Is that
Ben,
close?
hapon.
Hapon.
Magadan Apon.
Oh, yes. Another sweet greetings to the ear.
Right.
So, yes.
I'll
Oh,
try.
so I asked people to make some comment or thumbs up. So, you speaking our language. And then they said, it is indeed 100% pleasant to the ears. So they're saying, hi, Ben. Hi, Richard. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on to our next speaker for today. She is the person behind the team of our newest launch service or business under Awaken to Business. It's Answer for Business. And she is also our director for learning and development. Let us all welcome the lovely um, Marielle. Hello, Marielle.
Hi, Andrea. Hello, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon to all the viewers.
Okay, thank you, Marielle. And last but not the least, I want to introduce to you, um, this is the guy behind all the technology, software, and tools, and he is really our go-to person whenever we have trouble, whenever we need help. The whole organization needs help with regards to technology. So our IT director, Coney. Hello, Coney. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good good morning still in the UK. So yeah,
Yes, yes.
magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon. Okay. Guys, maganda din naman yung greeting ni Connie ng magandang hapon, di ba? Nice lang din naman yun ng konti. So, i-thumbs up nyo na. Okay? So we have a good number here watching with us is we have 20 viewers. So we're expecting to grow more. Guys, please do share our Facebook Live for today para po marami tayong ma-reach, marami ang mas makaintindi, di ba? If they have questions, if they have hesitations, if they have some clarifications with regards to the use of AI, at least we're going to reach, a lot of people and help them answer their questions. So, guys, please just drop your questions here in the comment section, and we will try to answer that towards the end of our discussion. All right. So, let us now start. So, of course, let us start with Richard. So, yes, Richard, I have a question here. Um, how do you perceive the role of AI in your business, particularly regarding the tasks and responsibilities of virtual assistants?
Okay, so when you're running a business, really any sort of any entrepreneur, anybody that's got a business and they want to scale their business, they want to grow their business, AI now is an essential tool, because what it allows you to do with your virtual assistants, it allows your virtual assistants to use the technology to become much more efficient in what they do, to get tasks done quicker, to the quality of the output can be better. It allows VAs to do research answers just so quickly. With AI, as you're putting questions, if you're doing research, as you start putting the questions into, let's say, ChatGPT, as that's probably one of the most common or most well-known platforms at the moment. As you're putting that question into ChatGPT, it's already, as you start typing, predicting what you're going to ask it, and it's going off and it's finding the answer. So that is how it can come up with answers to research questions so quickly. Now, so as a business owner, if you've got a team and they are using these tools that are available to them, it allows them to be better at what they do, research much more thoroughly and much quicker as well. So the whole efficiency of the business becomes far, far better. And that allows your VA and your team to focus their time more on doing the really specialist stuff, which only human beings can do.
Okay. Yes, thank you for that, Richard. And yes, I agree. AI helps virtual assistants to be more efficient. Actually, the Vavavoom VAs are already efficient in what they're doing. Our VAs have been with their clients for years now, and we're receiving good feedback from our clients that they're efficient, they're good at their work. But of course, there are still room for improvements and upscaling. So I guess that comes in, the help of AI as well. So
I mean, AI, so you say room for improvement, there will always be room for improvement. Human beings, we are on a journey with technology. So, and that journey started when we first, when we first arrived on this planet. We started on that journey. And if you look in my lifetime, which is considerably longer than most of the people that are watching this Facebook Live. But when I was born, man hadn't set foot on the moon. That journey hadn't started. We were working on the technology to be able to allow that to happen. And we didn't have things like microwaves and the things that we just take for granted in our lives didn't exist when I was a child. So we're on this constant journey with technology, which means that we're constantly learning. And so as a business, and our business is partly training to a very large part, not just recruitment but training people, we all have a responsibility to keep up with the technology, what's happening, whether it's AI, whatever it is. We want to be at the forefront of what we do. So AI is evolving so quickly, so rapidly. It's really quite incredible. So we have to constantly be doing research and learning how we can embrace this technology and use it within our business. And we have to train other people that are coming into our business on the technology as well. That's our responsibility.
Yes, I agree with you on that. And we've been discussing also AIs, not only here in Facebook Live, but also in our previous team meetings. And I like the example that you used, Richard. There was a time that calculators, it's not you are not allowed to use calculators on exams. So yeah,
Yeah,
can you
that's
share
right.
that to our viewers?
Yeah,
Your
sure.
example.
So again, so when I was at school, when you were taking exams, you could not take a calculator. You can't see that. You could not take a calculator into the exam room because you were expected to know how to do these calculations in your head and do them quickly as well. But of course, things move on, and after a period of time, it was considered that a calculator was just a tool to allow people to work better. And the need to be able to calculate things in your head was not really appropriate at a certain time in history. It wasn't appropriate. It wasn't necessary to be able to quickly calculate things in your head. So calculators became quite permissible in the exam room. And then, of course, technology moves on a bit further, and you don't actually need calculators because you have these things called spreadsheets, which will, what you need to know then is not how to use a calculator, but understand formulas and how to put them into spreadsheets so that quite complex calculations can be done just automatically in a heartbeat. So that's it. Technology moves on, things move on, society moves on, and what is not allowed at one stage suddenly becomes the norm.
Okay. Yes, that's true. We just have to be adaptable to those emerging tools and AIs right now. So yes, speaking of integration and efficiency, I will now go to Ben. So Ben, how has the integration of AI into your digital marketing strategies? Because guys, for everyone's information, Ben has been in the marketing industry for a long time now, and I know Ben will agree with me, and he can mention it later also. The changes from the traditional marketing to digital marketing, and yes, going back to my question, how has the integration of AI into your digital marketing strategies impacted the overall performance and efficiency of the
Mhm.
campaigns? Compared to the previous campaigns that you've done in the past. And can you share some specific examples of AI-driven improvements?
Mhm. So we use AI to generate content, so written text. The main difference is that it takes up less time. So rather than somebody sitting with a blank sheet in front of them on their laptop, they can generate content quite quickly. They might have to edit it to make it right, but it means that they can generate more content in the same amount of time. So for some of our digital marketing campaigns, we're able to, on social media, for example, in the time it would take to create one post, we can create 3 or 4 posts. So we're able to do much more activity with the same amount of time. So the AI isn't replacing a VA, it's making them better at what they do. They can create more work, but it still takes an actual person to edit it and approve it. So although AI is a helpful tool, it's not a replacement. So people often think of technology, people are afraid of new technology. So when computers became common in the workplace, lots of people thought they were going to lose their jobs. But actually, computers have brought you all jobs. The fact that you have access to them, so the technology actually becomes the norm, and it creates more wealth and more jobs. So AI won't replace people; it will make us more productive.
Okay, yes, I agree with you, Ben. Um, so yes, I just want to quote one of the speakers last week. I think it was Tanya. So Tanya actually is part of Ben's team for in creating content for social media. So Tanya is using AI. So she admitted that during the Facebook Live last week, and she said that it has helped her work to be more productive and up to speed really. But of course, Ben said that, of course, AI cannot replace the people working. And then Tanya said that uh, AI lacks creativity, emotional connection. So, whenever she use AI in drafting contents or captions, there's no emotion, there's no creativity and emotional connection. So that's where the human touch will come in. She
Yeah.
has to still work on the contents that she's producing. So I agree with Ben. Definitely, people or humans cannot be replaced. I also want to quote, I mentioned that I've attended a webinar last week. So in that webinar, it was mentioned people cannot be replaced by AI. For example, me, I cannot be replaced by AI, but I can be replaced by the person who knows how to utilize AI. So yes, like Richard said, it's here now. So we just have to embrace it, collaborate with the AIs. So yes, okay, that's just a beginning part of our discussion. It's our discussion is getting interesting. So I hope guys, for you everyone watching there, if you have questions, if you have some comments or insights you would like to share, please please feel free to do so in the comment section. So Tanya, because Tanya, I mentioned Tanya, she commented in that here that human aspect in creativity has never been more vital than during this AI boom. So yes, hearing from our content lead writer. All right. Thank you very much, Ben, for that. I will now go to Marielle. So, Marielle, as I mentioned when I introduced her earlier, she's the team lead for customer service. For customer service, our call answering service, answer for business. So if we have clients here watching, and if we have virtual assistants here, okay, let me just plug or promote here, Marielle, before I go to you. If we have clients here watching, and if we have virtual assistants here in our viewers who are with us today, and who are working for a business who needs help with their customer service, making sure that they do not miss any calls. So please get in touch with us. We have a great service to offer, Answer for Business. Okay, we will make sure that we will stay on top of all your calls coming in. Okay, so just a quick promotion on that. And by the way, Marielle has been, before she became a virtual assistant, she's been in the customer service industry for a really long time, and I'm sure, for me, I'm excited to hear what Marielle has to say with regards to customer service and AIs. So Marielle, how do you envision the future of AI in online customer service, and then to follow up, what steps is your team taking to adapt to potential changes in the industry?
All right. Um, First of all, thank you, Andrea, for plugging our new service, Answer for Business. So to all clients watching, please, yes, it's here. So please sign up to as we are nearing on our go live service for the business, and to all the aspiring VAs or experienced virtual assistants who has experience in the BPO industry. We are still looking for people who will join us and be part of our team to do the call answering service. Now, with regard to your question, Andrea, you know, the goal of any business, specifically those who are in the customer service industry, is to provide high quality support to all customers and to the clients. Now, as someone who is leading a team in the customer service industry, I think AI, the way that I envision the future of AI in the customer service industry, is that AI will enhance, not entirely erase customer service. How? In what ways? Number one, there's automation. You can automate using a lot of AI tools. There is chatbots that you can integrate in your website that would ease up, that would shorten the wait time of every customers, of every clients. Um, you can easily generate reports whenever you need to with the help of AI. Specifically, being in the call answering service, of course, we need to get that data in order to check, where we are at in terms of the business, whether we are meeting customer satisfaction or dissatisfaction. And then AI can also help us in terms of tone detection. So there's one tool that all virtual assistants are using, and that we promote this to all VAs, and that is Grammarly. Grammarly will help us not only just simple checking of spelling, punctuation marks, but Grammarly helps us with that tone detection. It helps you analyze your text before you hit the send or the enter button. So it tells you whether the tone of voice is friendly, more personal, or confident or optimistic. So those kind of things are the things that will help enhance customer service. Now, in terms of our team, what are we doing? I think we are prepared for AI. We are willing to adapt to all the AI technology, because, like I said, it will enhance customer service. It will improve the response rate. It will help us lessen the waiting time. Plus, it will also improve efficiency. Plus, it will give us a more competitive advantage because we are a company. Answer for Business is a company who welcome the use of AI. So we are at a more competitive advantage. We are on a better edge to rather than those companies who doesn't want to use any AI tools.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Marielle. And I like that, improve response rate. So that's one of important roles, or determining factors with regards to the performance of anyone who is in the customer service. Of course, for customer satisfaction, we have to ensure the response rate. So I like that. Okay, thank you very much, Marielle. I will now go to Connie. So hello, Connie. Um, as the IT director, what security measures have you implemented or plan to implement to protect sensitive data and maintain privacy while using AIs?
Straight answer for that would be just don't give AI sensitive information. Because problem with using AI applications such as ChatGPT, once you provide it with sensitive data, it's free for all. Everyone's actually using it for it. So if you're gonna be using AI-driven tools, make sure that it has some form of legal protection for the consumers, the users. Privacy policy should be implemented on these applications that you are going to be using for your business just to protect yourself with regards to privacy. And yeah, just basically don't provide AI with your sensitive data, which you can actually um, keep it on your own servers, uh, encrypt it as much as possible, because encryption is one form of security for your data and files. So yeah, implement encryption on your sensitive data. Make sure that there are privacy policies to protect your files if you're gonna be using AI-driven tools.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Connie. So yes, don't give sensitive information. Okay, to our viewers and virtual assistants, don't be too overwhelmed in using AI. So in everything, diba? In everything, we have to be careful, um, especially with the sensitive information. Uh, this is for Richard. Just a follow-up question with what Connie has mentioned. I know um, there's a data protection law in the UK. Since we're working, our virtual assistants are all working with our UK clients. We have to be aware. And for anyone here aspiring to join Vavavoom, they will be working with UK clients. So I think they have to be aware and familiar. What is the data protection law in the UK?
So we have a requirement under what's known as GDPR, General Data Protection. Can't remember what the right R stands for now. Requirements probably. So under GDPR, that we have obligations on how we handle and store people's personal data. So this relates to people, individuals, not rather than businesses. And there are really three main areas of responsibility. One is with the business itself. So for us as a business, Awaken to Business, we have to have we have certain policies. There are certain things we cannot store people's data for any length of time unless we actually have been given permission to store that data, and we have a genuine need to store that data. So there are policies which go around this. This is called our privacy policy, and we have to make all the people that come into contact with us aware of what our privacy policy is. So there's, first of all, there's the business and how the business must adhere to the requirements. Then there are the providers to the business. So particularly here, software companies. So anybody that is developing any kind of software, and it's important actually, one of the things that I'd like to also just highlight is we're talking a lot about things like ChatGPT, which is a specific piece of AI software, but there are lots and lots of other pieces of software which perhaps you don't necessarily think of as being AI, but in fact they are. So for instance, Xero, bookkeeping software. Okay, so Xero has very much been, in the past when it started, didn't really have any intelligence. You just put data into it and it then presented that data and did some calculations based on what was put in, and you could prepare your accounts and invoices and things like that. But now Xero very much uses AI. So although it's not AI software in itself, it uses AI, and so it can give you forecasts and things like that. It can very quickly use artificial intelligence to prepare predictions for you. And all of these software companies, in order for their software to be able to be used, they have to conform to, when they design the software, to GDPR requirements as well. Otherwise, they would not be able to be used. And then there is the operator, the person who is actually putting the data into the software. So as Coney says, you know, knowing things like you don't put people's personal details into AI software unless it is particularly designed to be to store that information. You've got to know how to do that. So for us as a business, it's very important that we are providing that education and training to people that are using the software.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. That's very insightful. Yes. We really have to be careful with, especially for us virtual assistants, we have to be careful in handling sensitive data and information of the clients and their business. So we will really be held accountable for that. And of course, especially like a good, very good example for an AI for email marketing. We're using Sendinblue, MailChimp. I know everyone is familiar with that, and it's a sort of an AI, I believe, because you can send emails, chunk of emails at once. But we have to be very careful also in using that, and it is important in every mailer tool. There's a disclaimer towards the end, and there's an option to subscribe or unsubscribe to that. And then because I'm doing also email campaign for my clients, other clients, and then if a person said that, oh, I already unsubscribe and yet I still receive letters from you, then I believe, am I correct with my understanding, the sender or any organization that sends it will be held accountable for that, once a person has
Yep.
unsubscribed.
Yeah, that's right. So this is really very much where GDPR falls in. So what we do is we don't just send out random emails to people in the hope that it may be of interest to them. We invite people to opt in. So when they come into contact with us, perhaps they may request a recording of a webinar that we've done, something like that. We will ask them if they are interested in subscribing so that they get notifications on emails and newsletters and this sort of thing. But they have to actually opt in and tell us, yes, I'm interested, before we will start mailing them. And then when they opt in, they have access to our privacy policy, which tells them how we will handle their data. And we also give them the opportunity to opt out or unsubscribe with every single email that we send them. And
Okay,
you're right. So and sorry, Andrew, I was just going to say, and again, with the platforms such as Sendinblue, Mailchimp, there's a number of them around. With those platforms, they are all designed to make sure that the way the communications are being driven, that they comply with GDPR, and they also monitor things like bounce backs, and it is AI doing this, bounce backs and the number of unsubscribes that come through, so that the platform will say to the business that's doing the marketing campaigns, you're getting a whole load of bounce backs, and you're getting a high number of unsubscribes here. We're questioning the integrity of your database and how have you acquired those email addresses. And another thing I'd just like to add also is integrations. So we're seeing more and more talking about Grammarly integrating with AI to be able to improve what originally it was just a grammar checker, but now I think Marielle was saying, it can detect tone of voice, and it can rephrase things in the tone of voice that you want to use. So it's using AI to do that and improve the quality of the communication.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. Our topic is really interesting. So we're not just focusing on AI topic. There is so much to learn about the live session today. So I hope you guys who are watching here take note, of everything that we're talking about, especially for aspiring VAs, because you can learn a whole lot more, than just AI. Richard was able to cover, the law of data privacy in the UK, and then how we do things, especially for email campaigns. We've also mentioned some tools. So along the way, I believe, there are still a lot of questions for our speakers. But along the way, as we continue our discussion, we can mention some top software, some tools, and some other things, how we do or how we perform as virtual assistants. And it will be really beneficial. It will benefit our aspiring VAs here in our audience. So please stay tuned and be with us until the end of this live. You will learn a lot of things. Okay, so moving on. I was supposed to ask another question with Richard, but I will let him rest for a while. So I'll go to Ben now. We've been talking about efficiency since the beginning, Ben. How do you perceive AI's impact on your business operations in terms of efficiency and cost effectiveness, comparing to hiring traditional virtual assistants who are not AI driven?
Okay, so as we've said several times, AI is not a replacement for virtual assistant. It's just another tool that we use. So by using AI, it's like a shortcut, whether we're generating content or in the future, we might use it to start to generate logos for companies and branding. But you still need that human layer over the top. So what happens is the VAs become more efficient. So the cost of generating an amount of work will go down. So as an agency, we can be more efficient, we can produce more work, we can service more clients using another tool, which happens to be AI. So yeah, I think it will make us much more efficient. Yeah. And any company that wants to be efficient is going to have to look at AI if they're not already. Yeah.
Mm. Yes. Okay, yes, because sometimes if you will just rely on your human ability, we cannot be efficient all the time. So I do not know, guys. I know why VMT uses a very great tool when it comes to project management. Can you help me with this, guys? Is Asana considered an AI?
Do you like me to answer that, or I'm not sure if I'm the best person or Marielle is
Anyone?
the best person? Well, I'll give a more basic answer, and Marielle can give probably a more thorough answer. Yeah, AI. So if we go back again, let's go back in history, and we had these things that suddenly changed our lives. In the probably late 80s, 90s, these things called computers, microprocessors, and various different devices changed from being electrical, mechanical to having some kind of intelligence built into them, such as a microwave. I think I used the term microwave earlier. A microwave, whereby, originally microwaves, you would set a timer to say, I want you to cook for a certain amount, for 2 minutes, and you press the start button, and then that would be it. And then things developed a little bit further, and you had 2 buttons then, or 3 buttons, including the start button. One was the timer button. The other one was the intensity of the microwaves. So, it could be a high, medium, or low, and then the start button. And then all of a sudden, computers came along, and these things that computers use called microprocessors. And they started to build microprocessors into all sorts of devices, such as microwaves, which you could put in whether it's fish, lamb, or chicken, and how much it weighs, and whether it needs to be defrosted or not. And then the microwave would just suddenly calculate everything for you and microwave this piece of food perfectly. So microprocessors get built into everyday things, even kettles and things like that. And now this is where we are with AI. So programs and devices that you might not consider to be AI are using AI. Alexa, Siri. Oh, I shouldn't say that word loud.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Okay, these desktop virtual assistants, they were one of the first devices to actually have AI built into them, and more and more devices and software has AI built into it, and Asana is able to use AI to become far more efficient as a project management tool, and when we're talking about efficiency, and Ben was talking about efficiency, which means that we can increase our output and save time, what that actually means, and the most important thing, is what does that mean to the customer? And to the customer, that means quality and value. They're going to get far more, much better results at a much better price. And that is the most important thing. So the short answer from me, if that was a short answer, is yes, Asana and all sorts of software are using AI to be better at what they do.
Okay. Another tool, guys, for our viewers, Asana. So you need to check out. Again, like what I said, during the course of our discussion, towards the end, there are certain tools and software that will be mentioned here. All sorts, in every niche, in every area. So, keep watching, take note, and do your research, okay? If you're an aspiring virtual assistant. And if you are already a virtual assistant, maybe you can learn more here how to be more efficient and how to utilize more the tools that you are using, okay? Somewhere along the line on this discussion, we will cover that. Okay, so yes, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Richard. I will now go, of course. It's Marielle's turn now. So, Marielle, as a team leader of Answer for Business, do you perceive AI as a potential threat to the job security of your team members, even your job in the online customer service field? If so, in what ways?
Um, to be honest, with the presence of AI, we don't feel any pressure. Well, well, like I said earlier, AI will enhance customer service. Is it going to be a threat to the team, to our virtual receptionist, or to anybody who is doing who is part of the customer service? I don't think so. Just to define, or well, not based on Wikipedia, but we all know that AI has the AI is responsive to any data that is available. So which means that it has the potential to learn and make decisions based on the information that we input or that they take in. So now, yes, we recognize their capability. However, um, human abilities are more expansive. How? Well, as you know, that humans, we have the ability um, to feel, to imagine, to anticipate, uh, to have a better judgment in changing situations. So that would allow us to have a personalized approach rather than a more robotic approach, if I may say, or a templated approach to customer service. So there is another aspect of AI, and this is what humans represent, and it is called authentic intelligence. So humans represent authentic intelligence. So as part of as the leader for the call answering business, and for speaking on behalf of the virtual of our virtual receptionist, we are willing to, we don't see it as a threat. In fact, we are willing to collaborate and partner with AI to help us enhance the customer service. So to everybody who's watching right now, can you all please comment on the comment box, hashtag humans for the win.
I like that. I like that. Oh, come on, guys, to our 28 viewers, please comment hashtag humans for the win. Okay, thank you very much, Marielle. I will comment that in a little while. So, yes. So I like, Maria, how Marielle mentioned, no, they're not threatened. And what did you say, the exact words, Marielle?
We don't
Um,
feel any pressure.
oh, yes, that's the confidence that Vavavoom VAs have. We don't feel any pressure. So, yes, that's for the customer service. Before I go to Coney, let me just speak in behalf of HR and our recruitment team. So, as the lead of recruitment also, um, I'm encouraging the team to use different kinds of tools and software to make their job more efficient. Okay, so for those here who have applied to Vavavoom, you know that we have a very tedious screening process. It is to make sure that we produce world-class virtual assistants here in Vavavoom. All right, and to make by the way, we receive hundreds of applications, in a week. And our team in the recruitment has to use, a lot of tools to help their job be easy and more efficient. So I asked them to join with me in a webinar. So I just learned that there's a resume summary generator. Oh, see, okay. Of course, a resume or CV summary generator. Because sometimes, if you will just rely on our AI, what's that, Maria? What's the AI of the humans? You mentioned it's an AI also.
Authentic intelligence.
Authentic intelligence. Okay, how even though how authentic our intelligence is, there are times, that will our judgment will fail. You know, um, but with the use of a CV summary generator, we will be able to give fair chances to everyone. So I haven't used this resumes or CV summary generator yet. It was just mentioned during the webinar. I need to have a look on this one because, like also with Connie mentioned, I have to consider also the sensitive information. And if, in the CV, there are sensitive information that's in there. So we have to also, we as humans, we have to be wiser in our judgments. What AIs should we use and what are the limitations, of using AIs. So let's go to Connie. um Speaking of limitations, let's go now to hesitations. A lot of Sean's. All right. So Connie, what are your hesitations or concerns about adopting AI technology in our organization, in Awaken to Business? And how do you plan to address these issues to ensure a successful implementation?
Okay, so because I don't want this discussion to be a bit negative with regards to our approach with AI. It's just that for me, it's, personally, I've grown with um, pop culture references to AI, like watching 60s movies regarding robots, growing up with super robots like Voltes 5, Daimos, everything about mecha or driven with relationship with robots. I'm very interested in it, especially when I was a kid. It's just that when I watched Terminator from uh, uh, from the 80s, that's one that scared me. Machines taking over. But in fact, it's we are the ones supposed to be in charge of those uh AI technology. We are the ones feeding it information. So it should be, we are not supposed to be providing them with sensitive information that which they could use against us. Also, there should be limitations on the programs that they are creating, because right now programs are actually writing other programs. Me, for when I started doing programming, I started with basic from my Atari XL 800 when I was a kid. That basic programming language created the Pascal language, which is the base for the C++ language, which C++ used basic programming for creating basic programming. Oh, what's that? That they use on GUIs on your on basic computers like Windows 3.11. So we're the ones supposed to be giving it information. Um, it's just that we need to put safety measures on it. But that's me being a kid growing up watching Terminator, AI, where the AIs are the antagonist. But let's look at it on the bright side. For me, it's it's actually impacting uh, our business. It not in a negative way. It's making our jobs efficiently, especially for um, content writing. As Ben mentioned earlier, pro- where you're gonna be asking for a topic, it's gonna provide you with an output. It's just that you need to read through thoroughly, because most of the time, if it's gonna sweep for information from the World Wide Web, it most definitely came from a source, and you're not sure if that source is copyrighted. So make sure that you check on your research with you when you're gonna be doing content writing, especially that's gonna be used on the internet, because they're gonna flag you if you're caught uh, infringing on copyright. So another thing is, as you mentioned earlier, for recruitment, if you're gonna be putting people's information on an AI-driven application, that's a bit seedy, but again, what's gonna save us is those privacy policies. So making sure that the data that we're gonna be putting on their AI-driven tool is encrypted on their end and not gonna be widely available for the whole World Wide Web. Another thing is for um, graphics, where in which AI can now develop graphics for graphic artists, but layouts are generally what what we are doing. We can take AI created graphics, but not the layout. Especially the, what do you call this, the theme. You can instruct the AI to provide you with graphics with for that, but for the theme, is it gonna because usually for our graphics, we're gonna base it for the branding that's being asked for us, like especially if it's gonna be for Awaken to Business. If you're gonna be looking at our logo, it should be around these colors. So if you just provide them with create me graphic for Awaken to Business, it's not gonna provide you with proper graphics for that. It's just gonna provide you with just random graphics with about Awaken and business. It's not gonna provide you with that output. So probably in the near future, if it's gonna be more, if it's not really specific, it's gonna provide you with such data. Or if Awaken to Business is already an established business in the future, that's uh, the data information about the branding or anything has already been published on the internet, it's gonna sweep that data. It's gonna use that data and create graphics, especially for that team. Um, it's just that also for the customer service industry, it's, yeah, Mariel is right. It's not gonna be impacting them that much currently, but yeah, because AI won't do courtesy calls. AI won't do reminder calls. It's not gonna do. It's not gonna call your clients verifying information. No, it's not gonna do that unless you're gonna do specific programming for those. But I'm not gonna mention that because it's gonna be a long conversation for that. Um, it's just because uh, the AI-driven applications, they are gonna be reliant on the data that it's already been fed. So just as long as you're not providing it with sensitive data uh, that can come back to your company or to you, and also probably do a lot more research when you're gonna be using AI-driven tools. Um, this is gonna be a part for the creative aspect. Um, these tools are used to make your job more efficient, but it's not a replacement for human concept. Human concept, it's actually not gonna be thinking about what you're gonna be say the same thing that you're gonna be thinking. It's gonna think what you're asking it to think about. It's only gonna be always gonna be specific. And yeah, even though that AI would have the near capacity for authentic intelligence, it won't have common sense. So that's my parting sentiment on that.
Okay, yes. We will take note of that, Connie. AIs don't have common sense, but as per Marielle, we have authentic intelligence. Oh, come on, with the words. You're coming up with words here. All right. So see, guys, we are not AIs here. We have authentic intelligence and common sense here in Vavavoom. So, okay, let's move on with our discussion. Actually, I have, several questions for Richard, but I'm gonna skip some of that because it was covered, during the course of discussion earlier. But this is one important question that I've been meaning to ask Richard. Richard, I know you consider Vavavoom or Awaken to Business as more than a recruitment agency. Um, and as the CEO, what are your thoughts on the future of AI in the industry of virtual assistants? I think, our VAs, Bababoom VAs, would want to know your answer with regards to that. And
Okay.
um, and I have another question. You can just, answer it after that. Additionally, what steps are you taking to keep your agency relevant and competitive in an industry that is becoming increasingly AI driven?
Right. Okay. So before I answer the question, I'd just like to. I've got a little a book that I'm going to recommend here for people. And what Kenny was saying prompted me to think of this book, and it's a book called The Age of Spiritual Machines, and it's by Ray Kurzweil, and it's an absolutely fascinating read. And what's even more fascinating, so this is about machines and human beings and the evolution of artificial intelligence and intelligence within machines. And the incredible thing is that this book was written decades ago, and it's fascinating. So I recommend that to everybody. The Age of Spiritual Machines by Ray Kurzweil. Yes, so sometimes people think that we are a recruitment agency, and of course we are far more than a recruitment agency. With a recruitment agency, when their role is to find people for businesses and recruit them and place that person, the best person with the best experience and the right fit with that business. And once that is done, that's it. You're on your own. We are more than that. What we are about, our core value is support. Okay, so we are here to support businesses and to support virtual assistants and to support, in fact, everybody that the business comes into contact with in the very best way that we can. So we yes, we do recruitment, but a major part of what we do is training and education as well. So providing mentoring for clients on how to work well and get the best results when working with virtual assistants, and avoid the mistakes that people often make when outsourcing and working with VAs, and to provide training and education and advice to the VAs to help them be the best virtual assistant. In fact, to be a world-class virtual assistant, because everything we try and do is to be world-class. So to be a world-class virtual assistant when working with the client. So we can only make people be world-class by giving the very best training and knowledge and ongoing support. So when we place a VA with a client, that's the beginning of the relationship. It's not the end of it, as with a recruitment agency. So I think that answers the first part of the question. And what we're doing right now is is how can we support people? How can we help virtual assistants? We can help VAs, anybody that is currently a virtual assistant within our business or wants to be a virtual assistant, by giving them that education. You know, if anybody needs any advice on what software, what's the best software to do certain things, how do you use that software, how do you work with AI, what are the best processes to adopt? When I say processes, what I mean by that are, if you've got a task to complete, what are the steps that you go through to complete that task? To be able to complete that task, giving the best end result and in the most efficient way. So, you know, people don't have to work this stuff out for themselves. And, you know, more and more and more are we using AI tools to achieve those outputs that need to be achieved. So, and I think I heard the term traditional virtual assistant used a short while ago, and that word traditional virtual assistant means, you know, I guess it's implying virtual assistants that are not moving with the times and using old-fashioned tools and not researching, constant research as to what are the new things that are coming along and going on. You talked about a webinar that you attended earlier this week, Andrea. You know, any one of us who wants to be the best that we can be in what we do needs to be constantly learning and educating ourselves and listening to podcasts and going on to webinars and doing research using AI to find the very, very best tools so that we can be world class at what we do. And if you're, you know, if as a business, as individuals, we're not doing this, if we're not embracing the technologies as they come along, then there's no future for us. Other people will overtake. You know, as a business, we want to be leaders. We want other people to follow us and follow what we do. And you know, I believe that's what we are right now. And since we started, you know, when I started Bar Bar Boom, nobody was really providing a service that we're providing, doing what we're doing. Now there are a few people that are trying to copy us, but you know, they don't quite get there, because another one of our values is continuous development. So we're always looking at how can we develop, how can we do things better? What are the things that we need to be doing to keep us ahead of the race, at the front of the race? And that's what we do.
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. I hope that you know, clarifies and give our VAs assurance we still have a job. Guys, I am pleased to announce we still have a job in the near future, okay, with Baba Boom. So for
We,
everyone who, yes, Ben,
we're still recruiting. We're still recruiting.
we're
Even
still
using ER,
recruiting.
we're still recruiting. Yeah, we're still growing.
Yes. That is, yeah, that's a very good reminder, Ben. We are still recruiting. And for our core team who is watching, can you please put in the comment section the link of how to apply to Vavavoom? Okay. So, yes, support. That sets apart, you know, Vavavoom to other recruitment agencies. We are not just recruitment agencies, but we are, you know, a support community to our VAs and to our clients. I know Richard is getting some, you know, some questions when he does client calls or, you know, sales, you know, meeting with prospective clients. You know, client would ask, why should we go to Vavavoom? You know, and then for me in the recruitment, VAs would ask me, why VAs stay in Vavavoom? So my immediate answer to that is the community and the support. We take pride on the kind of support that we provide to our virtual assistants. So this is not just to market or plug Vavavoom, guys, to all our viewers, but it is indeed true. Okay. Vavavoom has excellent support. So guys, if you agree with me, all our viewers, virtual assistants, can you put in the comment section Vavavoom support? Okay, so yeah, I think Vavavoom support. Okay, so
And
if you agree
and
with the kind of support.
I was just going to say also there. For people that are based in the UK, clients that are thinking about outsourcing and using virtual assistants, and for virtual assistants or people that perhaps in the Philippines that aspire to be a virtual assistant. One of there are several common mistakes that people make when it comes to working with virtual assistants. And when I first started this business, a lot of people would say to me, oh, I tried working with a virtual assistant and it didn't really quite work out for me. And I found that there are lots of mistakes that people make when it comes to outsourcing and working with virtual assistants. And that's what was the motivation for me to start doing what we do, and finding a way of helping clients avoid those common mistakes and get it right and be able to outsource well and effectively to virtual assistants. And for VAs, if they're just getting recruited perhaps blindly off the internet or through some kind of agency that doesn't give that support, what can happen? There's a few things that can happen. Two of the common things that can happen is a dishonest client can get a VA to do work for them for a few weeks and then never actually pay them. So the poor VA has given up a lot of time and then not got paid for the work. And then the other thing that happens is that the VA can do some work, but the client has no idea how to outsource and avoid the common mistakes. And so after a few weeks, they think to themselves, oh, this isn't really working out. And so they stop working with the VA. The VA has no longer got a job or a client, and not really through any fault of their own. It's just through a lack of education. So this is why we do what we do and provide that training and support to VAs so that they can be the best version of themselves and be an excellent superstar virtual assistant, and for clients to make sure that they are getting it right and working well with that well-supported virtual assistant and showing, teaching the client things like the cultural differences, how to actually delegate tasks effectively, processes, tools, how to lead a team and build a team, how to be there to support your team as well as your team being there to support you. All these things are really, really important when it comes to building a team and growing and scaling a business.
Yes, that is correct. So if you've been part of Vavavoom for a while now, you will agree, and you can attest to that everything that we're saying here about Vavavoom is correct. So whenever I do interviews to applicants, they would ask me, Andrea, what made you stay in Vavavoom for 4 years? So me and Connie, we're 4 years now with Vavavoom. Actually, I started 2018, but it's still awakened to business back then. So what made me stay? The support, the community, the culture. Um, and yes, here in Vavavoom, we are aiming for growth and development of our virtual assistants. All right, so let's carry on. Thank you very much, Richard, for that. I think this will be my last question for Ben. how do you ensure that the AI-powered virtual assistants working within your digital marketing team are effectively complementing the skills and expertise of your human team members rather than replacing them?
Absolutely right. So AI is good at generating, currently it's good at generating text, for example, or images. But what it doesn't do is have a personality. It doesn't have an emotional edge to it. So for a lot of marketing, there are extra layers on top of the actual text itself, which are emotional triggers to ask people to do something. So a call to action to click on a link or something. And AI currently isn't able to put that into the text. So there's always going to be authentic intelligence. It's going to need to be the top layer, the marzipan on the top of the cake. So the intelligent bit comes after the artificial intelligence, and that's the bit where you actually shape it into good marketing. And I think one of the threats that we'll have in the fairly future, in the short-term future, is that we'll get people that don't know anything about marketing setting up marketing agencies and just using AI. And I would expect those people are probably going to be in India, and they'll start offering very cheap AI-based services that don't have that authentic intelligence on top. And then marketing might get a bad reputation for using AI. That's my concern. If you don't have that marzipan layer of the clever people on top, it could get a bad reputation in the industry. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is a concern that I do have, is that somebody will come along and undercut us. But without the expertise, I'm going to say it again, because it's a great phrase, without the authentic intelligence, the marketing is not going to work. You do need that extra layer. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes, Ben. Thank you very much. It clarifies, how you do things in your virtual marketing team. So
Mhm.
again, this is another plug and promotion. If clients here and virtual assistants watching today, who needs help with regards to branding, marketing, and any part of your marketing, any part of services for marketing that you need, you may contact us again, your virtual marketing team. So you may check out our website. So it's a very great website, guys. You will be fascinated as if you are really speaking or dealing with AIs, but of course with human touch. So check out the website of your virtual marketing team. Okay.
Another thing I'd just like to bring in there is that with the advances in technology, often the people that are running small businesses, they can be tempted to do things themselves because of the technology that's out there. Now, I'm thinking about logos and creation of logos, and before we had AI logo generators, let's just go back a step before, where sites on the internet where you could put in a little description of your business, and what you do and who your clients are, and perhaps where you're located. And from the thousands and thousands and library of thousands of logo designs that it's got, based on those keywords, it would suggest a bunch to you. And what happens? You go walking down the road and you see 15 plumbers vans, all with the same logo on, but in a different color, perhaps. And that's the danger. People think, oh, I can save a little bit of cost, and I can go on the internet, and I can use a logo generator, or I can do something. I can write a bit of content using AI. But if you actually don't really know how to use the technology, the results that you get are not going to be very good. Websites, people go, oh, I'm going to build my own website. And sure, there are website builders, software builders out there that will, Wix or something like that will allow you to, as a small business, to build your own website. But it's going to be a very sort of basic, not particularly clever, and you don't understand marketing, so you don't understand the importance of, having lead generators and things like that within the website, because you're not a marketeer. Now, when you go to somebody that is a specialist that actually gets this stuff and knows how to do it, yeah, it might cost you a little bit more. It could actually cost you a little bit less if you have a value mindset rather than a cost mindset. But you're going to get something far, far better because the people that are doing the task, they know exactly what they're doing. This is what they do. This is their profession. They build websites. They create graphics. They're graphic designers, and they're just using the AI as the tool. So yeah, you know, that human intervention, having that the content, the designs, whatever it is that is being created by the AI, having somebody that understands how different colors set off different emotions and different fonts and how things look and what is the tone of voice of the business, how do you want people to perceive your business, and understanding all the psychology and everything else that goes behind that is so important.
Yes. Okay, so guys, if you do not want to end up, wearing same logos for different kind of businesses, contact your virtual marketing team. Okay. So thank you for that, Richard. Um this will be my last question for Marielle. Uh of course you said that we're not pressure. So, are there strategies or measure uh, is your team implementing to address the potential impact of AI on job security and ensure that your team members continue to add value in the evolving customer service landscape?
Okay. I think right now with Answer for Business, we are at the moment, if I may say, on a traditional route. At the moment. So we do answer calls. You would expect a human to answer your call rather than um, having an AI answer the call. But I think in the coming days, we could potentially switch to be more efficient in providing customer service because with the presence of AI, the job roles will and responsibilities will definitely shift in such a way that we can give to AI the lower level routine tasks because we have to align with the strengths and weaknesses of man and machines. So with we can leverage on AI doing the routine tasks, those that are repetitive, just the same as when you call your credit card company and just want to know your balance, you can just press on one and then you would know your balance right away. So those kind of things we can leverage on AI. We can give it to AI. But in terms of the high level task that requires human judgment and emotional intelligence, then definitely our virtual receptionist will handle that, which means that in terms of how our team is adding measures or putting on measures to keep up with the advancement of AI, we have to upskill and reskill to embrace our new role that will leverage the human strengths alongside with AI capabilities. So this time, we will be shifting to a more of a human dash AI collaboration model. So once again, just for our viewers, can you type in on the comment section hashtag #VavaVoom is AI ready. Again, hashtag #VavaVoom is AI ready.
Yes, we're ready. We're not pressured but ready. Okay, thank you very much, Marielle. So, for Coney, I know you've suggested, several things to do to make sure and ensure our security and privacy of our data are protected. So, apart from the things that you mentioned earlier, are there any additional things that you want to discuss with regards to the potential risk factors associated with using AI in our organization, and what strategies do you consider to mitigate these risks?
Okay. Judging from this is gonna be based from my experience. Usually for me, when I do research, especially for product research, I usually scrounge around forums that usually takes time. But now with using AI, you can actually put uh, put an inquiry on it. It will provide you with such data. Um, Most definitely faster than you scrounging for forums. It's gonna, yeah. Sorry for that. I live near a church, so that's why there are bells. So anyway, yeah. For data research, it's gonna be for me. It's more efficient for me. It's gonna provide me with alternative software or tools that's on the same level of that tool that I'm currently researching. So it really provides me with such help with regards to research. It's just that most of the manual things that I do, I still do it manually. It's just I don't want myself to be reliant on AI that much. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if it came from an AI driven device or an AI driven engine, it's most definitely coming from a different source, which might be copyrighted. So if you're gonna be using that for your content, please do your further research on it before you're gonna be putting on uh anything that's gonna be a content that's gonna be generating money, like an advertisement or a what do you call this? A brand. If you're gonna be brand using it on a brand, please do your further research on it. And also don't rely too much on automation. Machines can only do what it's being asked for. And also for your security, use two-factor authentication. Use authentication tools such as Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, any other authenticating tools. There are a lot there out there, but I'm actually just using two just to lessen the headache. Um, OTPs. You should be utilizing OTPs, especially if you're gonna be uh if you're using online banking, just as just a security for that OTP. Um, Email confirmations also for applications that you're gonna be using on your daily tools. For example, LastPass. If someone gets your LastPass account, even if they get the password, they need to actually authenticate it using via email as well. So if your LastPass has email authentication on, two-factor authentication, you have two levels of security. So an email confirmation and your two-factor authentication using an authenticator tools. Also, be wary because I've seen this a lot of times with VAs. They're putting their passwords on notepads. Please don't. Notepads are easily available if someone actually has access to your computer. I mean, it's they can get that notepad get the information as soon as they get that file. They can implement it on your accounts. Use password managers. Just make sure that they are actually with two-factor authentication and email authentication. Encrypt sensitive data, even if it's just a PDF, even if it's just a spreadsheet, even if it's any document that you have with regards to your business, and encrypt it, even if it's local. So even if they get access to that file, they would have a hard time cracking it if you have password authentication. Like for example, remember for us with me sharing passwords with Richard, we do it with a certain method, which we have encryption. I give it to Richard. He has the password to it. Yeah, that's okay. Even if the other VAs get that file, if they don't have the password, they won't have access to it. Same thing. And yeah, because AI development is inevitable, which is a term I got from Terminator. So yeah, it's inevitable. It's already here. We need to embrace it. Consider it as a tool to help us in our work. And the only thing that I would leave you guys with this topic is don't be reliant on it, so you won't be dependent on it. Because I just experienced it a couple of days ago that I am reliant on this certain tool. It suddenly did not work for me. I was panicking. So to relieve you of that problem, don't be reliant on AI. As much as possible, use common sense, and yeah, don't rely on it too much. That's just for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Connie, for all those tips. I hope our audience or viewers were able to write it down and bear in mind how to secure our data and information, even though we are using AIs. If you haven't, you have a chance to watch again this Facebook Live here on the Vavavoom PH page. So you can take note of those tips again. All right. So I just have two more questions. This will be for Richard and Ben. So I'm gonna ask Richard first. Here in Vavavoom, particularly in our team, Richard, we usually, of course, monitor the performance of our VAs. I think in any organization or company, being able to measure the performance of the team is really important. So, how do you plan to measure the success of AI implementation in our organization? And what key performance indicators or KPIs will you use or implement to evaluate the effectiveness of AI technology in achieving companies' goals?
So when we're looking at AI technology, when we're looking at technology, there's a number of key factors that need to be considered. First of all, is what is the real value that that's going to bring? Okay, so what will the technology do? How will it make the business more efficient? How will it save time? How easy is it to use? So some technologies can be very, very good, but unless your name's Coney, you're going to really struggle to actually get to grips with it. And some of those technologies are designed for techies, for technical people, and you've got to be able to write code and things like that to actually be able to use it. So there's the usability, there's the value that it's going to bring to the business, of course, cost as well. So cost does relate to value, although we need to have a value mindset. Cost is a factor of value. You know, value is benefit and cost combined together, and also support as well. How good is the support that the provider is able to offer? So whatever we're using when it comes to selecting the tools, we need to look at those various different factors. And it's continuous. There's things that are changing so rapidly. So whatever is the best tool right now, in a week's time, it could be replaced by something else. You know, we've been using AI for generating content, maybe for about 3 years, something like that. We first started using an AI tool for generating content, and it was very much in its infancy there, and it's got a whole lot better since then. But and we're going to see things just get better all the time. And talking about KPIs, so the KPIs change all the time as well. And as the technology changes and people become more efficient, we're talking about how we can use AI to make people more efficient. So that means that as people become more efficient and their output becomes better, we can improve our KPIs as well. It's really important to have them. Okay, so you treasure what you measure. If you're not measuring the quality of what you're doing, then how can you improve? How can you identify the areas that you need to improve? And probably not surprisingly, AI can be a good starting point in setting what the KPIs need to be.
Okay. All right. So that's a very good point. We can, seek help from AI in helping us coming up with the development in our KPI system. Okay, thank you very much, Richard. I will now go to Ben. Ben, in a digital marketing company, you always deal with clients. So, especially in the startup stage of the campaign or any project,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, it involves decision making, at some point. So, how do you plan to balance the use of AI technology with human decision making in your company? And what concerns do you have about striking the right balance between automation and human input?
So I think basically having an understanding of the consumer that a brand is trying to attract is the one bit that is missing from AI at the moment. So if we understand what the consumer wants and what the benefit is for them for using a particular client or buying into a particular product, we can then create a campaign and a message that appeals to that. AI might be able to help us to do that, but it won't understand who the consumer is or what the unique selling point of that particular company is. So before we go to AI, we need to do some human intelligence first to put a strategy together, and then AI is just a support tool. It doesn't run the whole campaign. It doesn't tell us what to do. We use it for creating specific pieces of content. In the future, I'd expect there'll be things that will be able to run campaigns for us. So, for example, social media, I would expect AI will be able to, at some point in the near future, will be able to analyze campaigns on social media and optimize them automatically. So we'll look at what performs best, what time of day, what works for a particular client. And then maybe a couple of years ahead of that, I would expect that it will be looking at who interacts with our campaigns, and then it will go and data scrape social media and find other people that have a similar profile. So I think in the future, AI will be really useful for digital marketing. At the moment, it's still not quite there. It's doing the heavy lifting of creating content, but it's not doing what we need the people to do at the moment, which is the human intelligence bit of it. So the creativity, and understanding consumers is a really integral part of what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ben. And it really shows that um, human intelligence, has really a great part to play on that. And to the team of YVMT, you still have a job. Okay. Don't worry. All right. So this is a very insightful and interesting topic. For my final, just I just thought of one last question for Richard. Maybe, just a short answer. Will you recommend to our Voomer clients uh, to ask their VAs utilize AI? I heard some of the VAs, I had a conversation, they are using and their clients allowed them to use AI. But for you, for to our current clients and future clients, is the use of AI something that you would like to discuss with them?
So it's a really good question, actually. So for the majority of our clients, they are entrepreneurs. Okay, they are creating businesses. Therefore, from the majority of entrepreneurs, they have a creative mindset, and they're very good at coming up with ideas, with business ideas, identifying opportunities, and they're visionaries. They can think ahead and think about where do they want to be, what's the reason why they're doing what they're doing. So most entrepreneurs are outside the box thinkers. And one of the things with out of the box thinkers is that they're not particularly good at the detail, and they don't necessarily want to be involved in all that nitty gritty, time consuming, noisy stuff that goes on within a business. And this is why they've gone to use a virtual assistant in the first place, because they want to spend their time on the creative stuff, the stuff that brings long-term value to what they do, rather than these immediate time-consuming things that need to be done right now to keep the business going. And so they decided to take on a virtual assistant. So actually, for most entrepreneurs, it's not a question of allowing their virtual assistant to use AI. It's more on its head. It's where the virtual assistant, in fact, if they're a really good team leader, they don't even care how their virtual assistant has ended up with the results that they've ended up with. What's important to an entrepreneur is that their VA has come up with the very best solutions to the problems. And how they do that is entirely up to them. So for most clients, they wouldn't even care. They only care on the output, on the outcome. Okay. So yeah, I think as VAs, use your initiative, use the tools that are available in the very best way. The most important thing is to understand that, in summary, AI does not replace human intervention. We're there because we're empathetic, because we've got that human approach, and we understand things that the machines can't understand. So it all goes through us before it goes anywhere near a client. It goes through, if you're a virtual assistant out there, it goes through you, and your client, the clients, the entrepreneurs are going to end up with better businesses that can serve their clients better and give their clients more value because they've got efficiency within the business.
Okay, thank you, Richard. That was very clear. So, to our viewers here, to the virtual assistants who has not only virtual assistant of Vavavoom, I know we have different audiences now. Our clients are looking at our output. So let us, take advantage of using AIs. All right. So with that, for our viewers, can you please comment what is your favorite AI that you use, on your job on a day-to-day basis. So let's see, let's find out, what's the most loved AI currently. All right. So while we wait for the answers, that's that would be all of my questions for today. Actually, I have this is a never ending can be a never ending discussion for today, but I do not want to take up the Saturday night of the Filipino viewers. I do not want to eat up also the weekend of Richard and Ben. They have a lot of things to do, perhaps, they love dancing, so they might be, doing some dance later. So you see, guys, here we've highlighted here what sets apart Vavavoom, both for clients and for VAs. We provide support. Okay. Um, and one way of us showing or extending our support is doing Facebook lives like this. All right. If you are a follower of Vavavoom PH, you know that we've done several Facebook lives already. So it is not just us, doing Facebook live and being active on social media, but we've thought that this is a great platform for us to extend the support that we provide, not only for the Vavavoom VAs, but to everyone who is following Vavavoom. So it is our desire, Richard. And by the way, guys, why I've only thought of this now, uh, people, to our viewers, all our guests today are part of the senior leadership team of Vavavoom. I just want to mention that, although everyone, that all of us here are directors and Richard is the CEO. So by having that title, you know that we consist of the senior leadership team. And as part of the senior leadership team of Awaken to Business, we want to help Filipinos to have a job and opportunity to become a virtual assistant. All right, there are a lot of advantages, benefits, and that's the beauty of becoming a virtual assistant. Okay. So okay, let me check the comment section if there's oh, so Jan Nainaho, I hope I'm correct with pronouncing, Bard and Chat GPT is her favorite. Marielle, Chat GPT, Fatom. Oh, that Fatom, every time I see Fatom in Zoom, I get goosebumps. I don't know why. It feels like I there's a robot in the house. So yes, Fathom and Otter AI. So yes, Richard, ChatGPT is one of my best friends. So you see, guys, you don't need to be afraid of using chat gpt. Even Richard, even Ben, they are native speakers of English language, so they use chat gpt. How much more we Filipinos, that's only English is our second language, so
Actually,
we do not have to be
sorry,
afraid.
an important point there. Okay, Chat GPT is rubbish at English grammar. Okay,
Oh.
so if anybody is
Mm.
taking content generated by Chat GPT, you must put it through Grammarly, because
Oh.
it is not, Chat GPT is not grammar AI, Grammarly is. So always copy it out of Chat GPT, put it through Grammarly, read it, that you never forget the human intervention as well. Read it. Does it reflect the tone of voice? Does it actually give the answer that you were looking for? Because sometimes it can misunderstand what you mean. You've expressed something in a way that that it doesn't understand, so it's misinterpreted your question. So it's not just, oh, generate something, copy and paste it. Okay, you can use it as a tool. Check the grammar, read it through. Does it reflect the emotion, the tone of voice, accurately answer the question that you're looking to be answered? top and tail it if necessary, change it, remove a paragraph, whatever you need to do to it, and then you'll have the finished article.
Mm. Okay, so you see, Richard never fails to, insert some wisdom, some sense in any conversation. So, guys, for you guys who are using ChatGPT, run it through Grammarly, especially for those people that are using it for caption or content in the social media of their clients. Run it through Grammarly because um your social media managers people doesn't know that it's not your client who's doing the post. Of course, you are acting in behalf of your client, of our clients. So we have to make sure that any content that we are going to post on their social media is accurate. Okay, so yes, I think that's a very good discussion today. So I think the winner for AI today is Chat GPT. So yes, okay, to anyone who haven't used Chat GPT yet, please try and explore other AIs also. Okay, so in conclusion, we hope you found today's discussion on the human edge. Unlocking the unique value of virtual assistants in an AI world, both enlightening and inspiring and encouraging. Okay, guys, to all virtual assistants, I want to inform you, I want to give a shout. We still have a job. Okay. No need to worry. All right. So, as we continue to navigate the ever evolving digital landscape, let's remember the irreplaceable value of human creativity, empathy, and adaptability. Online freelancers will undoubtedly play a crucial role in shaping the future of work. And by embracing their unique talents, we can ensure a harmonious and thriving coexistence between humans and AI. So thank you very much for joining us today, and let's continue to celebrate and support the incredible potentials of human spirit with authentic intelligence in our increasingly interconnected world with AIs. So thank you very much to our esteemed speakers for today. Thank you very much to our viewers, and happy weekend to everyone.
Thank you, Andrea. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend.